everybody, it's Morgan from the Pride Network, and I'm here to talk to you about Trans Awareness Month. A lot of the times we talk about the L, G, and B, and Q parts of the alphabet soup, but we don't really talk about the T as much. So we're going to talk about that today. Many people are unclear of what being transgender means. To understand what transgender means, we need to clarify the difference between gender and sexuality.
For most of the population, that biological sex, male and female, works pretty well. But if you really pick at it, it is not a clear distinction. I'm Rebecca Kling. I'm an artist and educator from Chicago. I tour the country talking about trans identity and trans experience. Gender itself is split out into a couple of different categories. Presentation is a really good example, that hair and makeup and clothing all give indicators of gender as we societally understand them, but there is no clear definition for when your hair gets a certain length, you're now suddenly a woman.
Some people are unclear about the difference between transgender and transsexual.
Transgender is used to describe people who were assigned a sex at birth, male or female, and do not identify as that sex. Transsexual is a subset of that population used to define people who are transgender and desire some sort of transition, often a medical transition. Job discrimination. 90% of trans people have faced some sort of harassment at work. 26% of trans people, including myself, have been fired from a position for being trans. Most of the issues that trans people face come from fundamentally not respecting that self-identified gender.
Some of the biggest struggles, I don't want to speak for other people, but for me personally, bathrooms, that's a problem. Another thing is preferred pronouns or preferred names. PGPs are preferred gender pronouns. Me, for example, I was born female, and some people might read me as female, but I identify as male, so I go by male pronouns. My PGP, he, him, his.
We don't magically know what someone's gender identity is or how they self-identify. And so preferred gender pronouns can be in a group setting, going around and sharing names and pronouns rather than just names. And on a one-on-one can be, what pronoun do you prefer?
Some people that really don't identify with gender binaries sometimes go by gender-neutral pronouns such as they, them, theirs, we, ver, viz, z pronouns.
Asking about preferred gender pronouns is something that is generally seen as a sign of being supportive and being an ally, particularly if it is done in a respectful way.
You shouldn't assume people's genders. You should always ask and always be respectful.
You can't always tell what someone's gender is from what's between their legs. If you can't always tell based on hormone levels, if you can't always tell based on testosterone or estrogen, if you can't always tell based on XX or XY, if you can't always tell based on presentation, then at the end of the day, we need to trust each other.
It's kind of frustrating to not have people see me how I see myself. That's the biggest thing for me.
If you are not familiar with the trans community, or if you're a trans person who feels either geographically or socially isolated, you could be led to believe that there aren't a ton of awesome trans people out there. There are.
I think we're starting to make some good strides. Happy Trans Awareness Month, from me to you.